Wow! All right, and here we are. Welcome back to the 35th episode of your favorite nerdy podcast, and that is Comic
X Weeb.
I am your co-host, James, aka Comics for Cheap, aka you gotta get low for the box out. AKA. That's right. Another one. No, I don't got another one. I'm gonna pass it over to my other co-host here.
It's your boy Chris, aka.
I still can't tell if it's supposed to be angel music or devil music.
Black Santa, aka. It truly is Tom. It is Comic X Weeb. Tom, aka Super.
What?
Cold water. And I got some news for y'all, bro. I got some news for you. Super Cold been a little, cold lately. I haven't been saying much, but Super Cold got something for y'all to know. I've been challenged for a rap battle, so we gonna be getting that soon for y'all. We gonna show y'all how it is. Show you what happened in the streets, these mean streets.
Challenge by who?
You gonna find out. You gonna find out, James. I'm tired of you disrespecting me. I'm about that. We gonna be the way you said that. Challenge by who? Like Super Cold, got that in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good though, because we gonna show these boys. I'm gonna show this fool who the real king is. Super Cold, how he get down. So be prepared. It's coming soon.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Okay.
Like the Scar song in Lion King. I am prepared.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of battle rap, just real quick, I made a battle rap reference to someone in a group chat, and there was only like one person who got it. But I don't know if you know Arsenal the Rebel, when he does his thing where he's like, "Once again, I'm here in another person's country, on another person's stage, taking another person's money," type of thing. I always send that out to people when I fly to another city, just to get a crack, just to make myself laugh, and only one person usually gets it, so it's quite upsetting. But battle rap is a very obscure culture that not many people follow, so I get it.
Especially nowadays too, man. Like this generation though, they don't truly understand what battle rap really is neither. That plus they think, anytime somebody even says anything close to a subliminal shot, that mean they just completely beefing and everything. Well, back in the day, true battle rap didn't necessarily mean it's going to go to guns and all that. It was just truly seeing who the better rapper was.
Yes, correct. 100%. I miss those days. I miss the good leagues, Grind Time, King of the Dot, whatever other ones that they exist out there. Now there's like a million of them. So, but yeah, anyways, we're going to kick off today's show. We have quite a few things to talk about, but we didn't get to it last week because there was so much that dropped for Disney Plus Day. But I wanted to kick it off talking about the Justice League Tower of Babel, because we've been doing this thing where we pick a series or a little storyline or something. Chris and I usually figure out what we want to read, whether we're rereading or something new, and we go for it. So we read it and we talk about it with you guys, kind of discuss it. And this week's choice story was Justice League Tower of Babel. Now, I had read, I think, bits of one of the issues before, but I had never actually sat down to read it all the way through. So first of all, Chris, I want to thank you for restoring my love of the Justice League with this story. I really did.
It's a great story, and I knew you would love it.
It's a fantastic story. And then I second of all, it was so good that I actually read it twice. I read it once last week to prepare for last week's episode, and I read it again today just to refresh, and because it was so good that I was like, I want to read it again. So in case you guys don't know, this is a story from circa 2000, I think issues like 44-ish, 43 through 46 of JLA.
It's like four issues, something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
But it gets the job done.
It gets the job done, and this is in a time where there didn't have to be 1.5 million tie-ins and variant covers and everything else just to tell a story that it needed to tell. Written by Mark Waid, who is pretty renowned as far as comic book writers go. And I mean, this one, just from the get, it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, because it kicks off with Raj.
And I what a villain to choose too.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, just like to pick from for any, because you wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, you know, who is someone who would require the entire Justice League. I think we even talked about this as far as like, what villain are we really going to get that would be so interesting that would require the entire Justice League? And you know how Superman is, Batman, like everyone, Martian Manhunter, one of the most powerful beings that exist in DC universe. Like, how are you really going to stump all of them? And Raj answers the question with a bang, dude. Like, it was crazy. He just took them all out systematically, one by one, with precision, and the timing was just there. So basically, let's go over how he took all of them out.
So it basically kicks off with and I love how they make sure they got you to understand the type of person Raj is to begin with, because it's him, and he's like he gets with his henchmen or whatever, and then one of them is like upset and is angry, you know, crying or whatever because he killed a tiger.
Right.
And the importance of this tiger is not just that, you know, Raj loves this tiger so much that since it's died, now he's like beyond going to be angry and ready to kill everybody. He cares for the tiger, but the main thing was this tiger was a special breed. So with this tiger dying, that means that the breed will pretty much probably die out. Right. So Raj is listening to this dude, and the dude's like, I made a mistake. You know, he wasn't doing it out of evilness, but he did it out of kindness, not knowing he fed the tiger chocolate. He didn't know.
Stupid. Like, come on, bro. The tiger don't eat chocolate. Come on.
Maybe you could maybe you should blame Raj for putting someone like that in charge. Where it's like, if this dude's gonna do this, maybe you made a mistake by making him the one in charge of the tiger.
He picked someone very stupid. The tigers do come back into play later on in the story too. But yes, so it does depict Raj as he's very concerned about preserving the rare species. He's got a whole like sanctuary that he walks through as well.
So I just love it how Raj tells the other guy, he's like, you know what? Fine. Just give him the same kindness he gave the tiger, which you already know what that means. That dude's going to get killed. He's gone. He's right. Out of here. We ain't seeing henchman number 62 ever again. Like, he's out.
There's just a number.
Number 62, bro. That's who he is. That's who he is, bro.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out. He's out. So I had to get 63 in there. That's right. So the thing about Raj, though, he's like an extreme environmentalist, basically. Like, the dude is similar. It's kind of similar to Thanos' mindset in the MCU, where it's like, I'm gonna like cut half of the population so we can, like, you know, it's gonna help. We're getting too overpopulated. Raj is somewhat similar to that, but his mindset, and you gotta remember, he's been around for so freaking long with the Lazarus Pit and everything. He's seen the worst of humanity, and he truly understands one thing that is true. Long as humanity is where we're at, like, war is gonna always happen. It's something that is not gonna stop. It's something that's just basically inevitable. It's just when is it gonna happen again? And he sees society as something where we should cut it down and make it like a minuscule level of people left who really deserves to be here.
Right.
And he truly believes that. Like, he's not just like your typical villain of, I'm just gonna world domination. Like,
there's a little bit of that too.
But it is, but he's not that though. Like, he really believes what he's doing.
Yes.
It's like something like he's not like, oh my God, the most relatable person, but you could understand where he's coming from, like a Magneto, you know, like villains like that. You can understand where they're coming from, at least.
Right. So he wants to diminish the population to allow basically just the human population. It wasn't Thanos where it was all life. So it's just the human population he's trying to diminish in order to, one, let the rest of the environment prosper and come back to what it was, and two, so it's easier to rule over whoever's left, is basically what his mindset is at. But yes, you are correct. He really does believe that in conserving the environment and these endangered and almost extinct species, and his intelligence, like you said, he's been around forever because of the Lazarus Pit.
He's been around so long.
I don't even know how long this dude's been around, but it's a while. It's longer than your grandma's grandma. And so,
he ain't on that Vandal Savage level, because Vandal Savage has been around since the Stone Age, but he's been around for a long time though.
Right. So he knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two. He's like whatever the fuck that insurance company is, with J. Jonah Jameson.
Okay, there we go.
The farmers. Thank you. So no, he's been around the block, and that's basically kind of what his where he's at as far as this storyline. That's really his main focus is
I was gonna say it's similar to Apocalypse, but to be fair, Apocalypse whole mindset is survival of the fittest, so that's a little bit different.
Yeah, he does got depth to his madness for sure, 100%.
Yeah, because Apocalypse is just like, so like we need to make it where you deserve to live, basically. Like survival of the fittest is how things should be done. That's how Apocalypse mindset is. So it's not exactly that, but you know, it is one of those things where that just came to my mind, Apocalypse mindset, which I do like it. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, so then we cut to Bruce. And
Bruce, baby.
Honestly, this is a very interesting one because it's a Justice League story, but you can make an argument this is more of a Batman story.
You're
in the grand scheme of things, because we got Bruce sitting there looking at his, he's trying to pay respects to his mom and his dad, so he's heading to their grave, and then he noticed something.
His face cracks me up so much in this panel too, because it's genuine, like. You would think someone was fucking his dead parents' corpse or something. Like the face that he's got in this panel is I was cracking up so much. I was like, all right, what's gonna happen? Obviously something's happening here. And it is an empty grave. Thomas and Martha's grave. It's just no one even bothered to refill the dirt or nothing like that. Like, he just yoinked it out of the ground and left the dirt all around and everything. And obviously he wanted to make sure Bruce noticed.
You'll notice it.
He's gonna notice that for sure. And and then he instantly is just on the case. So unknowingly to us, that he's being taken out of the picture, so to speak, with this move. But basically Bruce is like, what? Well, I'm gonna find where the hell my parents are, because this is egregious.
Yes it is. And it's interesting because then you see you got stuff going on with the League now. So you have, Bruce is off to find out what the hell's going on, who took his parents. He's on a one-man army, basically. I'm gonna get this handled. And then you got the League handling different situations,
right?
And
so Martian Manhunter is the next one to go. Again, Raj is taking them out in the order that he needs to. Sometimes out of the most powerful, but other times kind of like it's almost like a chess game that he's playing here. Like who do I need to take out first in order to get to the king? Maybe not. You don't have to take out the queen first. Sometimes you got to take out a rook, pawn, or a bishop, and that's basically what Raj is doing in this manner here. So here I would argue that he's taking out at least a bishop, or if not the queen with John, because
John put a lot of things together. Going after him, because you see him get shot with something, but you don't really know the severity of it until they kick off with Wonder Woman and Flash, who has a pretty cool interaction where, honestly, I really like their interaction, because a lot of times you don't see this from those two, but they're having a good time talking about things, and she's challenging Flash to a race, and FYI, Wonder Woman has no chance of beating Flash in a race.
Especially not Wally. Like, I was sitting there like, wait, Wonder Woman is not that fast. And then
No.
I was like,
she
this is
fast
a
now. She's faster than
she's
people think,
fast.
though.
Right.
She is.
But I was like, but Wally West, like.
But here's the thing: she's not faster than Superman, and Superman, and definitely in recent years, have been confirmed to not be as fast as Wally. So, do you think Wonder Woman's gonna do it?
No.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. But it was still fun, and I liked it.
Yeah, it's
and
a cute
plus Wonder Woman's like my favorite female hero, so there's gonna be me gushing over her stuff anyway. So.
Right, so they're investigating a forest fire that happens after John was basically shot down out of the sky. And only come to find out that it's not really a forest fire; it's fucking Martian Manhunter on fire.
Yes,
every single bit of him is on fire. He's going crazy. He doesn't know exactly what's going on. And so basically, Wonder Woman and Flash have to attempt to put him out, to get him to a point where they can figure out what's going on.
Yes, and they do pull him out, and then to find out exactly what happened to John, what he was actually shot with was like these nanoid little
nanobots. Yeah, it was.
Yes, like, that went on him, and what it basically did is anytime he is, at least at this point, obviously he gets cured later on, we know. But at this point, if he touches anything like in the air, it's gonna basically ignite him.
Right.
So that was
it's
really
just a chemical reaction with the air around him, basically. That just is incendiary, and which is freaking awesome and genius. So so Flash creates a vortex, like running around in a circle really fast to put him out long enough to figure out, hey, it's Martian Manhunter. Hey, we got to figure out what's going on, and basically take him back to get fixed at the headquarters, or I know at some point they go to space, but I don't think that's yet. I think they just go to the Hall of Justice, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, that is the first one. Then eventually they go to the Watchtower, but yes, the Hall of Justice. So then, while that's going down, we get a situation with I think, if I'm not right, it's Plastic Man and Aquaman.
Aquaman.
It'd be Plastic Man and Aquaman, and this ain't your grandmother's Aquaman who just sat around and talked to fish and just masturbated in the ocean all day.
Whoa. Was that what my grandma watched all this time? She didn't tell me a single thing. I had no idea. Grandma, what are you doing?
Hey, man, yo, that's what it was, bro. Okay. It's the more cooler Aquaman who gets stuff done and is one of the more powerful members, like he should be.
Right.
So we get
grizzly.
Yeah, grizzly and everything. Yeah, like a grizzly vet, like Jay said, like a grizzly badass. Like he's that guy you don't want to see,
right,
in a dark alley,
or in the water,
or in the water, or at leleast maybe the water's not that big of a deal. So we'll get to that in a moment.
Look, I'm saying like Jaws and Sharknado. All these movies could have been resolved if we just had Aquaman. That's all we need.
That's true. He can calm them down. He can handle the situation if they get out of hand. He can just one-shot them all.
Where was Aquaman?
He did good, man.
Man,
where is Aquaman? Good Lord.
Dude, that dude.
The damn Eternals, man. You can't calm him to do a damn thing, bro.
He's like the Eternals, just sleeping.
He's napping, bro.
So like, Jaws was in the Marvel universe. I ain't handling that.
We just confirmed it. Yeah. All right there. Sharknadoes and everything. All in the Marvel universe. It all happened there. So anytime that stuff happened, you should be mad at Aquaman, especially Superman and all those guys for not intervening. Right. They must have thought they was too important for it, I guess. So they're there. I can't remember what they were dealing with. What was they dealing with? I can't remember before
they
are
popped off. The United Nations headquarters, and they are. What are they trying to take someone out or something, or no, or someone was like infiltrating them, or there was a trap set. Something happened. Basically, once they get in there and there's like a big meeting going on, then they're attacked from like behind a wall type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they
So
attacked Raja's ghoul. I'm about to say Raja ghouls. Raja's henchmen, his boys.
Yes.
His ghouls.
Oh my gosh, why didn't they call him that?
That's what I'm saying. It's Raja's ghouls.
Oh man, a missed opportunity there. That's genius.
Bro, I'm gonna call him that from now on. That's exactly what I'm gonna call him from now on, bro.
It's not the Goon Squad.
So his ghouls
Ghoul Squad. His ghouls show up. All right, cool.
His Ghoul Squad shows up. And they shoot Plastic Man, good old Patrick. They shoot Patrick with a basically a ice cannon, basically. They shoot him with an ice cannon.
Freezes him.
It freezes him completely. And here's the thing about Plastic Man, who is really one of the most dangerous beings in all of DC. He's like a joke character in a lot of ways.
He does tell a lot of jokes. Yeah.
He's a lot of comic relief. Sure. But with what he can actually do, and the fact that it's a possibility he's technically immortal, because there's another story where he gets broken apart again,
right?
And millions of years go, a crap load of time goes by. I'm gonna say millions, but a crap load of times go by, and then he's able to. Eventually, he gets put back together, and he's fine. Huh. So it's what the freak?
Right.
What? Whoa! He's basically immortal in a lot of ways. But because of how his body is, it's it's really weird. But it's mainly plastic and water, liquid. Really, it's not like a normal human body at all. The way it is, obviously. But he can metamorph into base that he can actually even change his look into other people. It could be painful for him, but he can do it. And he can change into a lot of things. He a lot of people. It's funny because a lot of people make the comparison between him and Reed.
Mm-hmm. Of course, right.
Plastic Man fans freaking hate it. They get very upset if you compare him to Mr. Fantastic. But there is a lot of some similarities there, and he's nowhere near as smart as Reed, obviously. But he's not an idiot neither. He's a very good detective, a very, very good one.
Okay.
Really,
I need to read a good Plastic Man story. You know,
dude, I'm gonna have to hit you with something, man, because that dude, Plastic Man has some good stuff, man. I like Plastic Man, and seriously, he is a force to be reckoned with because, the way he can turn his body and change it, certain stories, bullets do absolutely nothing to him; they bounce off to him. He has tucked some insane crap, and his body has just withstood it no matter what. But anyway.
Gotcha.
But of course, that also depends on the writer because there is other stories where bullets do hurt him, so it's kind of weird. But the main thing, bullets don't hurt. But anyway,
he's frozen, and then they're trying to break him apart. And the big
thing is, since he's frozen solid and he's plastic, and the way his body is, what's going to happen if it falls? It's going to break apart.
Right.
If you touch it wrong, it's going to crack. It's going to fall to pieces. So he's tucking on the picture. Another thing too is funny. So you can freeze him. You can also overheat him too. So if you raise the temperature to a crazy high level, that's also going to basically melt him.
Okay.
He's not going to be able to handle that neither. So this was a good idea. Say frozen solid. He's good to go. Here's the one where things get weird. Aquaman gets put around some water and he starts freaking out.
Freaking out.
And it's wait a minute, something's not right here because not only is he called Aquaman, so that would be kind of a problem if Aquaman was afraid of water. He needs it to survive.
Thank you for explaining that one for us, Chris. Aquaman actually is usually around water, but
I'm here to make sure you guys understand how it works.
I'm messing. So Plastic Man is frozen, broken apart with a hammer. Aquaman is surrounded by this cloud, and they're like, "Get him some air, and they offer him some water. He freaks out.
He's like, "No, get away from me! Oh God!"
Absolutely freaking out, and we're not sure what it is. And then we're back at JLA So, they did take him to the Watchtower. Okay, so they take him to the Watchtower. I actually have it.
Yeah, now they're in the Watchtower now.
Yeah, so they're at the Watchtower. Superman's there, trying to figure out what exactly is going on to everyone. Right now, the only ones who have not been really targeted, Superman, Flash, and Wonder Woman, are the only ones that are kind of like, I mean, they're dealing with this crisis, but they have not been attacked themselves.
There is one more guy, and we'll get to him. There is one more you're missing.
Oh, okay.
There's one more.
Right.
A green guy.
No, he was attacked. Martian Manhunter?
No. The other green guy, the one with the ring.
Oh, right, Green Lantern. Yeah, we haven't gotten
Green Lantern. Yeah. Kyle Rayner has not been attacked yet. We actually have Kyle as the Green Lantern in this story.
Yes, Kyle, and not holy shit, my mind just went absolutely blank.
You're not talking about John. You're talking about
not John Stewart, not not Guy Gardner, not Stewart. I can remember everyone else's name. What's wrong with me? Oh my god.
Chris, I gotta let you get this. You're gonna remember this. So come on,
please stop this for me.
Nah, come on, James. You can do this.
I'm about to Google it because my mind is.
Dude, don't Google it. You can remember this one.
No, I'm sorry. Well,
James.
Hal Jordan, yes.
There we go.
That is probably the most embarrassing forget that I've ever had. I just named all the other 3 or 4
You even named fucking Guy Gardner. Really?
Oh. Wake up, James. All right. Anyways, yes, we have Kyle, not Hal, because Hal was involved in the last shit that went down that didn't go so well.
Yeah, he was Pattern. See, now I'm having that moment. It starts with a P. He was the big bad villain. He was crazy. He went crazy, and he was really. It's really interesting because the whole change technically happened. Why they made Cal is because I guess Green Lantern wasn't selling that great, and they was like, we need to switch things up. So they turned Hal into a crazed man after the event.
The parallax.
After the events of the death of Superman. And his city got nuked or whatever, and he went crazy and brought them all back. When you think about it, it's sad, and it is really crazy.
Thank you, Ryan. The parallax story. So that story was absolutely insane.
It's crazy. So the Guardians was like, bruh, you can't do that. Deep down, they was like, they wanted to just be honest, bro, this is sad, creepy. And just not what a hero would do, bro. This is kind of weird. You're walking around talking to your neighbor who's obviously dead, who you made a construct of. This is weird, bro. This is not what we want you doing, bro. What are you doing? You gonna bang your construct girlfriend next?
Jesus. Had to take it there. Yeah, he's gonna get Bruce's parents.
Okay. Before we get too off topic,
sorry, I just wanted to say, the whole shit that went down with Kyle becoming a Lantern and that whole story, within 4 issues, that's one of the most brutal storylines that in Green Lantern, including the crazy shit with the drugs and everything like that with Green Arrow. That's a fucking brutal storyline for sure.
Yes,
but yes, so we have Kyle, but he's not in the story yet, quite yet.
So Superman contacts Bruce. And he's like, bro, we're being targeted. They're targeting the League. And Bruce is kind of paying attention, but he's not. So he's kind of just like, yeah, cool, got you. Can you take care of this?
Yeah, he's Superman.
He's on his crusade. He's
one of my favorite parts because he's like, Superman, is it anything you can handle? Bro.
Yeah, exactly. You're Superman, bro. You can take care of this. Let's be honest, Sue. You can deal with this by yourself. You don't really need me or them, really. Go do it. I got stuff to do.
It's what I say all the time in regards to Batman and Superman. Really, Batman's why are you there? Come on, Bat. What do you do? Superman can handle this shit. What the fuck are you doing?
Really,
so Batman's basically acknowledging that, and he's like, Superman, I'm in the middle of something. Exactly. Can you handle it?
You really don't need me. Go do Superman things. You handled crazy crap before we became the League, so go do something. Deal with it. I don't care.
That's right.
Let me know if Darkseid shows up. But until then, Go do something. Do Superman things. I got stuff to take care of, bro. I got some groceries, bro. Calm down.
He just like turns the channel off too. He's like, click.
yeah, like Batman didn't care, bro. He had his own stuff to deal with. The thing I love about Batman too is, honest to God, you do not know like what his true emotions really are. Like, he has like one of the best game face you'll ever see.
Oh yeah.
Like, this dude, like, you don't know if he's really pissed, happy, disappointed. Obviously, when things pop off, you get it. But I'm saying, like, in normal cases, this dude's just like he's just like there. Like, yeah, cool, got you. That's what's up. Nice.
Batman
good job.
Invented the resting bitch face. I'm pretty sure that like that is record. He invented a resting bitch face. So
yes.
he's a master of that for sure. He's doing his Batman things. He's like, shut the fuck up, Superman. Go handle this shit yourself, you pussy. And then Superman's like, all right, well, I guess we gotta handle this shit ourselves.
I guess Bruce isn't gonna help us, dick. And he's like, stop talking about my son. So this is now where we have, if I'm not right, we have Wonder Woman and Flash go to Kyle's house.
They go to check on Green Lantern. Before that
happens, though, something big does happen. People and Superman's going to investigate, figuring things out. He goes to the Daily. I'm about to say what is the Daily Planet, right? Isn't his the Daily Planet?
Daily Planet, yep.
Daily Planet. I'm like mixing him and Spider-Man.
The most simple shit that we forget is hilarious. Like,
I know, isn't it?
Slips out of your mind. Yes, Daily Planet. Yep, he's at the Daily Planet. So he heads to the
Daily Planet, and then he ends up he's reading something, and then out of nowhere, he can't read it anymore. The words are completely like changing, and then it's basically gibberish. Everything. And at first, he's thinking it's just him.
Right.
But then you end up finding out, no, it's everywhere.
Everyone, everything, not just on the words of the newspaper. He looks outside the window, street names, signs, everything is just it. Basically, he says it's Babel, and there we go. We get the name of this little series. But yeah, so it's all Babel, and that part was pretty cool. Where basically no one can read anything. But yes, go ahead.
Yes, no one can read, and it's like eventually it gets even more crazier. But people can't read; they don't know what the heck is going on. And Superman decides to contact somebody else, see what they can figure something out. He contacts Oracle, and I was like, when I first read this years ago, I'm like, that's Oracle. And the thing is, this is where honestly, Oracle is Barbara Gordon's most popular role. Anytime she was Batgirl, she never reached the height she was when she was Oracle.
Right.
Maybe some of that was a sympathetic factor from fans, how she became Oracle. But also as Oracle, she was a badass because she was basically like in Mass Effect, like a freaking shadow broker. She was that person who can get all the information you need. And she kept an eye out, not just on the League, obviously not just on Batman, the main person she would keep an eye out on. But she knew like basically everything. She could get her hands on any type of information. She was the definition of information is the most powerful weapon.
Right.
That's what she was. So Bruce is like trying to. I'm about to say Bruce. Superman is talking to her like, "Do you have any idea what's going on?" They end up finding out and figuring out that something has been shot out that has made it where it's a frequency, has made it where it's messing with everybody's brain. And they can no longer read anything. So it's freaking out everywhere. Military's going crazy. They're like, what do we do?
I just think about like how, exactly. How like very quickly that would just change the world if you can't understand just the written word. Everyone obviously right at this point right now can still communicate with each other talking. But I mean, there's that would mean no internet. So anything controlled by the internet is gone. Of course, in 2000, that was, on a much smaller scale, but still like your news, you're, trying to get stuff, delivered, street signs, everything. I mean, it just, that'll disrupt everyone. And like you said, doctors, surgeons, military, everything like that, all of a sudden are, at a standstill because that's what it is.
Doctors can't read the charts to know what specific surgery this person needs, what they got to do, because a doctor can do a surgery and they know what they're doing without reading. But if you just coming in there, you got all these patients and you don't know what surgery this person's need, and you do the wrong surgery, they're probably gonna die.
You look up at the whatever, the heart monitoring bullshit. I'm not a fucking doctor, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell they're reading, but they're reading something on the
reading
screen.
Something. They understand.
And obviously is very important to getting the job done.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know exactly how many beats per minute your heart's supposed to go, but I'm sure it's not like gibberish numbers.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So
yes, now we're back with Flash and
Wonder Woman heading to Kyle's house. So they get to the Lantern's house. They're trying to figure out which door is his because they can't even freaking read. But they figure it out. They enter in, and if I'm not right, I think I remember Kyle basically just saying like Wally or whatever. And he's sitting there like doing nothing. He's in a suit or whatever, but he's doing nothing. Yeah. And they walk up to him, and they end up finding out that he can't see anything. Forget reading. Blind. He's completely blind.
Completely blind. And that's the cliffhanger they left for us for that first issue. And man, like that was great. That was a good one because obviously they've already gotten to Kyle, so he has been attacked. He has been taken out. And so now we're on the next part 2. And the cover for that one, by the way, is really dope. It's Batman like playing the rest of the Justice League like they're marionettes. Like on
that is neat.
So I really like that as far as how it integrates into the story. I thought that was a very, very awesome cover. A great choice.
Yes. So Cal is like telling these dudes, bro, I can't see anything. Like I can't see. Forget the reading crap. I can't see anything to even look at the nonsense. Right. And like, Wonder Woman's like trying to calm him down, but obviously just imagine that. Like you wake up and then all of a sudden everything's just dark.
Yeah.
And you obviously know that it's morning, but you can't see anything.
Right.
And everything was good that previous night. Like that's a fear, man. Like that is a terrible feeling. Like whether you're a superhero or not.
Yeah.
Like even him being a superhero, that's freaking him out.
Yeah. 100%. I would not be able to imagine something like that. So that's pretty crazy just to wake up and you're blind.
It is.
Now, meanwhile, back at Ra's al Ghul, we have Batman, who's like, "What's up, motherfucker?" Breaks on in, has dead bodies in his hands. Well, probably not dead because he's Batman. He's got lifeless bodies in his hand that he looks like he just knocked down the door with their bodies, which is pretty crazy. And and he's like, "Look, what the fuck is going on?" He obviously guessed correctly. It didn't take him that long to it wouldn't freak out Daredevil. He was freaked out when it first happened. Damn it, Ryan. Wait, Daredevil wakes up blind every day. Of course it will.
Yeah. I mean, that happens to him as a kid. So, that happens as a child. You gotta, you're an adult. You got in your 30s. You gotta get used to it.
Oh Lord. Anyways, so Batman's there. He's like, "What's up, Raj? What's playing?" And Raj is like, "Hey, look, it's your dead parents hung above the Lazarus pit."
Yes.
Dude, that is twisted.
It is.
Oh my gosh. He's just like, "Look," and then Batman has another one of those faces where he's like, just another one.
Because here's the biggest thing, and this is where things get so interesting because he dangles over Batman's head and he's like, I can drop them in there. At first, the main thing is a threat, knowing Batman, but at the same time, it's also like a bargaining chip. Like, hey, you become the heir, because Raja feels Batman is the ultimate heir, that he's the guy who could take over for him and replace him, and everything will be perfectly fine. In reality, Raj isn't wrong. If Batman had the mindset and was like cool with it, Batman would be the perfect heir for Raj. He's not wrong. Right. Yeah. But obviously that's not Batman's MO. That's not what he's trying to do. So, but he's like, look, you join me, I bring your parents back. And there's a moment where Batman's thinking about it. Like he's really contemplating, like, should I? Like,
yeah. For a second there, he's like, oh man, I don't know. But I mean, there's got to be a part of him that knows, like it wouldn't be the same. Like it's basically like the same shit that happened with Jason, and like there's a cost for going into the Lazarus pit.
But here's the thing, too, especially back, like it's the cost of insanity, but it is a temporary insanity, depending on how much times you keep using it. And then it's also, again, I hate saying this, but it has to be said. It still depends on the writer too,
right?
Because some writers are like, no, it's a permanent insanity, and then other writers are like, no, it's just temporary. And the main thing has been it's a temporary one, but it becomes worse and worse the more you use it. Then you become more and more crazy. So it's one of those like really weird things, and I always hate that because it's just like, can we try to keep?
But also, so there's that part, right? But then there's also the part of if Batman's parents came back, or he allowed them to come back, or it was successful. You get past the temporary insanity, everything like that. Is Batman still Batman after that?
No, he's completely nerfed, as we would say, us gamers would say when they send a patch out and make the stuff that was good completely garbage. I'm about to go on a rant on anyway. So it's one of those things.
He has to consider. I'm just saying he has to consider that part of himself too. Like almost his whole identity has been defined by losing his parents, and so if his parents came back, it's almost like an existential crisis of who am I, type of thing. Because he no longer. I mean, it's just psychologically, he no longer has an identity now because his parents are back.
Because the big thing about his parents. That's like I've always made the thing of like it's kind of a joke, but it is a true factor. Bruce is always the guy who has never gotten over the fact that his mommy and daddy has died, and I make it seem like he should just get over it, and I make like fun of it, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just
right.
The fact that that's who he really is. Like that is one of his biggest weaknesses, and the key thing is if his parents was to just come back. A lot of Bruce's motivation when things seem that he can't win, he's motivated by the fact that what made him Batman, his parents' death. So if that's gone, Bruce would give up. He would give up in many situations that motivated him to keep going, and he would not be Batman anymore. That's his biggest motivation. That's who, like James said, that's who he is. So of course. 100%. Of course, Batman's like, nah, fam, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing any of that, bruh. He's like, Dex my man in the freaking face.
Yes. And let's see what we got here. So yeah, he does that, but back at Kyle's place, we have basically Flash and Wonder Woman are like, we're about to get attacked. They do, in fact, get attacked by the Ghoul Squad, if I may.
Yeah!
Rajal Ghouls. And so there are two like little chip-type nanobots, again, fired. One goes to Wonder Woman, and it makes her imagine that she is being attacked by a very... worthy opponent, basically someone that she is just equally matched to and could fight forever, in her head anyway. So she is still experiencing the grueling torment of a battle, a never-ending battle, but it's not actually happening. It's just
and
all
that
in
is
her
Wonder
head.
Woman's. That is like the perfect weakness, and that is one of her. And that is like the perfect way to take her down, because Wonder Woman will fight to the bitter end. So she will fight that person until she can't fight anymore. So she would basically kill herself from exhaustion eventually. And with this being an imagined, like something that's not even real, it's basically going to call, obviously she's not eating, she's not doing anything. She's just going to die continuously fighting this person that doesn't exist. So that was the perfect counter to her. That is like the perfect counter to her.
And then Flash gets hit in the spine with something that basically causes him to have what is it? Some type of seizure? Epileptic
seizures at a basically speed of light situation. Like it's basically that fast. Yes. Because if it was something where it was like it would trigger every couple of seconds, but like let's say it triggers every 5 seconds. Between those 5 seconds, Flash would still be able to do something. So he would still be able to, even those few seconds, he would be able to take pretty much everybody out. And he would be able to do what he needs to do.
He would be able to do it because it's
exactly
Wally.
Like you're not gonna be able to see him. He's bam, 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 bam. He's still doing what he had to do before it actually triggers. And don't forget, Wally, Barry, these guys are not stupid. They're very smart guys.
Right. Yeah.
So he would have been able to take care of business before it triggered. And if it triggers in like every 5 seconds, he would possibly be able to counteract it. Like he's going to get hit for a few seconds, but he might be able to recover quick enough to do more damage before he's actually fully taken out if it does take him out. So they made sure it was basically continuous.
Exactly. Light speed, 100%, never ending. And so here's a really cool part. I know this is jumping ahead a little bit, but basically Wally says, I feel like there were some days that I wanted to die while that thing was attached to me. Yes, and he asked him,
how long have I been out for? Martian pauses and says, how many minutes?
22 minutes.
22 minutes. And it freaks Flash out.
Man. Yeah, because he's experiencing all of that in his perception of time.
Yes.
Which is
not in reality because of how quick he is.
Oh, which was so dope. Like, because there's even a scene in the Invincible show where the dude's like with his girlfriend or whatever. It's like at the very beginning. I think it's the first episode, but it's basically the Flash counterpart. I don't remember what his name is, but he's like, usually spending time with anyone is agonizing because I live it in like nanoseconds. So basically, like this picnic date is multiple days for me. But I'd rather spend it with you because, blah, 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 whatever romantic bullshit he was spewing. But like to make you think like that's how Flash also perceives time.
It is. Yep.
So like for him to be attacked by this thing and he thinks it's days and days and days of torture, and really it's just 22 minutes. I thought that was so badass, dude. That was so crazy. Thank you. I knew Ryan would know. Red Rush is what the character's name was in Invincible. Thank you. But yes, so now that was, I loved it. But I jumped ahead, so let's go back to them trying to figure out how to stop this frequency that's going on.
Okay, so let me address this wall. So hit him with what happens next.
So Superman is basically like trying to find the wavelength. I guess the ultrasonic wavelength. Because he can see sound, which I actually did not know that he could see sound, but apparently he can see sound.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can see sound.
So he like not only can he see sound, but he can like see these very specific wavelength apparently of like whatever fucking hertz that was causing it. And I was just like, all right, that seems like we're just making Superman the most fucking powerful that he possibly can.
Dude, right this is why I always say when I see stories where they nerf Superman for no real reason, obviously the reason is to make him more, quote unquote, relatable to the situation, and like, we just don't have Superman just one shot everybody. I do get that part, but there's times where they just completely just take away powers that we know he can do, and then have him lose in a situation where it's like, wait a minute. He could have done so and so, and he would be able to get the job done. Let's at least like stop. Either stop giving him these powers, or just stop randomly taking them away, and then 5 minutes later giving them back to him when he could have used it 5 minutes ago to win the fight. Like, stop it! Like, it makes me angry. Obviously, I'm a big Superman fan, so
I know. Yeah, but so he sees the one like 0.001 hertz of whatever that's inconsistent, and he's like, this is what we need to do, this is how we need to make the counter whatever for it.
My man does exactly what Batman was saying.
Yeah, and they're like, can you trace it? And he's like, yeah, but not as fast as the Flash can, because he doesn't know the Flash has been incapacitated at this point. And I was like, so not only can he see the wavelength of sound, which is already unbelievable. But not only that, but he can trace where it's coming from as well. So I was like, all right, well, that's interesting. But anyway, so yeah, we see more freakouts of what's going on, more of like Wonder Woman's endless and constant battle, the Flash in super amount of pain. Superman is trying to figure out how to block this one particular wavelength, and does, but only from Metropolis.
He uses the machine that he got from Brainiac in one of their tussles.
Brainiac, that's right.
He uses that to
liberate Metropolis. So Metropolis is good.
Nowhere else.
Nowhere else in the world, but Metropolis is now good. So then let's see where we get.
This is the part where, if I'm not right, we got it pretty much goes. We got before we get to Raj and Bats. I'm thinking it's the part where Kyle is trying to fight people off, even though he's blind, so he can't. So he's like just shooting, trying to hit something, trying to use sound as basically his weapon. And the thing that makes Kyle so cool, what made him so unique and what made him such a fan favorite, is the fact that he's so creative when it comes to hip constructs, where, how, all of them are creative, but Hal was just like wrenches and boxing gloves, stuff like that. Where my man Kyle was like making robots and stuff, basically condoms and shooting people and everything.
Almost looked like Mega Man that came out.
That's what I'm saying. His stuff was always super creative, and what helps with that is he's an artist. So being an artist, he's art. So he creates cool stuff, which made sense, and it was really, really, really. I always loved that. I always loved that about him, and I always felt John was way more, because of the military stuff, was more like weaponized, and stuff like that. So they all was different and unique and cool in their own way. But anyway, so he's trying to do whatever he can, but he can't see. And also being an artist is also a weakness here. Him, needing to see things
to be able to design it, right?
Exactly, is making him. He can't do much, and then he gets shot in the back. I think Talia shoots him in the back and takes him out. I think it's Talia who shoots him and takes him out. Then that's when we cut back to Bats, right? We go to Bat and Raj.
Back to Batman and Raj. And Batman's like, nah.
They're having their talk and everything.
He's like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not letting my parents come back, blah, blah. And punches Raj Al Ghul right in the chin. Gives him a little uppercut. Boom!
Sure.
And then Raj is like, surprise, motherfucker. And pulls out what you think.
Red.
It's just a glowing red thing, until you figure out. Then Batman's like freaking out. He has another one. Dude, I swear to God, they put his face in the same way like throughout this whole series, because it's another one where he's just like, and you're like, well, what could he possibly be freaking out about now? Like, it's just a red glowing thing. And then you're like, it's red kryptonite.
Yes.
What's up, bitches?
Is like, of course, Batman, a lot of people's like, how does he know about this stuff? How would he know about red kryptonite? He shouldn't know about that. Something's not right here.
How would he know? And then you're like, wait a minute, Batman's running away from a fight, because he's like, oh my God, and just sprints out of there. He's like, Superman!
Yes, he's trying to get in touch with Superman, but it's not working. Their link is not working right, and he's trying to talk to him and tell him, you need to get don't go there. You need to get out of there. Basically, you need to like shit's about to go bad. But obviously, he's not getting to him in time. Superman gets there. Looks like Superman's gonna take everybody out with ease. And then what happens, James?
All right, so Superman bursts through, and Batman. No, wait, hold on. Superman is actually. I thought Superman was at this point trying to rescue, Flash, right? Or no?
He doesn't. He burst through the building to go get, because he's heading to where Flash and Wonder Woman are at.
Right.
Yeah, he's going
there. And so that and then Batman's trying to be like, hey, come on. But then Talia whips out her part of the red kryptonite. Yeah, just whips it out. Just a big red kryptonite dildo that she's got in her back pocket.
I knew he was going somewhere with she whips out her big red. I'm like, what are we going here?
Yeah, look, if it ain't a dildo, I don't know what the fuck it is. All right, look.
Pretty sure it is like a dildo in the comic.
Right. No, it's just a big lump of red kryptonite. So, and he's like, no, oh my god, what is it? It's like kryptonite, but it's not kryptonite. And she's like, no, it's very special kryptonite. It doesn't kill you as fast, but it makes it makes his skin like transparent, right? And then what it does, and everything that gives him energy actually ends up like cooking him inside, if I'm not wrong.
No. What it does is it actually amps his power to an extreme level. To an extreme level where his body is not able to react to it. So one of the reasons how Superman Prime 100, 1 million, whatever, one of the how he came into existence, remember, it took hundreds of years for him standing there absorbing the power of the sun.
Right.
So it took so long for him to become probably the most powerful being in all of anything, but it took such a long time. So what this does is force feeds energy to him in a way where he's not able to control how much goes in, where he can slowly get the amp. This just forces it into his body and is feeding him. And honestly, it's making Superman out at a super powerful level. The problem is the pain is way too intense, and he's fighting everything in his body not to blow up on him. Because it's that intense energy and power going through his body. And you make a mistake, he's gonna die. So that's why his body is messing up, turning red. That's the power and energy and him fighting not to freaking blow up and just have his super guts all over everybody.
Right. I do remember him saying, or them saying, that he was fighting not to basically explode. I
think they say that later on when he's in the tower. Yeah. Right. But yes, that's basically how that works out. Sure. It's amping him to an extreme level, but in a bad way.
Right. Okay. So so now Superman is at that point. Wonder Woman's been overtaken. Now he's been overtaken. Obviously, we talked about how Kyle is now blind. Flash is in his little seizures. Batman. We end on this issue with Batman like leaping out of Roz's like hideout and saying, Superman, I did this to you. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? Yep. Batman is saying that he did this to Superman, and you're like, oh man, now I gotta see what happens next. So now we're in part 3 of Tower of Babel Justice League. The entire fucking Justice League, aside from Martian Manhunter, who they were able to get into a suit. We didn't really get into that, but basically got him into a suit where he's not exposed to the elements, so he's no longer constantly catching on fire.
Because technically, the ones who are still technically good, we know for a fact was, which we kind of skipped over a little bit, but was Aquaman and
Aquaman's not really. He ain't really good.
Yeah, he's not really good, but he's good enough. And they was able to put Plastic Man back together, but he had to still be contained. So everything before, because he wasn't completely good to go. And he told, and Aquaman, he's the one who told Wally and Diana to go on, that if anything popped off, he's good enough to protect Plastic Man. So he said, y'all go. And so he sent them off. So technically.
So Aquaman gave Martian Manhunter one of the Atlantean suits of water, basically just to kind of contain him and keep him good. But he's not really good for fighting because it's not like a very strong suit. But it is good enough, at least, to keep him from spontaneously combusting, which is always
good. He can use most of his power still in the suit, too, to be fair.
Right. So,
yes. Kind of good. Because he's the one who saves the day.
Basically, I mean, that when it comes down to it, that he is who's supposed to save the day, in my opinion, because he is extremely powerful. So we're back. We're like, Batman is like, no, I can't believe I did this to you. He's desperately trying to reach any member of the team to try to warn them, because he seems to know what had happened. Raj basically hacked into some of Batman's files and figured out some confidential information about the team, and is using this now to his advantage. And so Batman, knowing what he has compiled on the Bat computer, is freaking out. I'll just go back to the old animation sound
Yep.
effects because it's called the Bat Computer still, which is just makes me like just call it a fucking computer, you dweeb.
No, dude. Technically, the kryptonite is called Red Kryptonite. And then it's like broken down to Batman's Red Kryptonite, but it's
Does
called.
He have like a copyright on the word bat at this point? I mean, has he trademarked bat?
Like, really makes you wonder.
Yeah, I just want to. I need. These are the questions that really need to be answered. So, anyways, the Ghoul Squad.
Love it.
I swear to God, we're writing a comic called the Ghoul Squad. The Ghoul Squad is like, listen, Batman, we're here to fuck you up, and Batman's like, nah, you can't do it, son. And then the trigger is pulled for the communication, the sound part of the Tower of Babel is now put out. The signal is put out into the world, and so now no one can understand even what people are saying without the Ghoul Squad blocker. So now Batman's like, oh shit, everyone's speaking gibberish. He's trying to communicate over the things. He's almost ready to get in touch with one of the members of the team, Aquaman, and then his entire language goes to gibberish as well as everybody else. So they push him off the cliff, and they're like, cool, no one can survive that, not knowing.
Yeah, we killed him because, Batman has never survived this before. Like, he's never been thrown off buildings and cliffs beforehand. He's never fought people like Clayface who, like, slammed them into buildings. He's never battled Ra's al Ghul to the death before. No, this right here is going to kill him. And, we have no body. We have no way to prove him dead. But he's dead, though. We got him.
No, he killed him. Well, look. The invention of the word cliffhanger comes from something like this, where they throw someone off a cliff, and then you gotta wait till the next week to find out what happened. It's literally called a cliffhanger.
They put grunt number 74 in charge, and look what happened. Look what happened.
Grunt number Ghoul Squad member number 74 is out here fucking up, bro.
Number 74 done fucked everything up, thinking that something like that would kill Batman.
Right? Yeah. No, but it didn't. So then we go back to the JLA headquarters.
Yeah, because we kind of missed. Oh no, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say Plastic Man is coming back into consciousness. It seems like he is about, he's not 100% yet, but he's on the mend. He's on the rise. Yeah. He's able to use some of his powers and help Aquaman, who is 100% about to die due to lack of water. So basically, they trick his mind with the help of Martian Manhunter to hallucinate that he's in a desert while putting him in a large tank of water.
Yes.
Which I thought was pretty cool. What I also thought was really cool was that Plastic Man then uses one of his fingers to like get super, super thin. Right, like so thin and tiny and small that he's able to go inside of Wonder Woman's ear and find the little nano bug and yank it out and destroy it to help Wonder Woman. So now we have Plastic Man's back. Martian Manhunter is kind of back. He can use most of his powers. Aquaman is back in water. So the JLA, they're starting to come back. We're on the rise here with the JLA.
So the only thing I was gonna say is that we didn't skip it, but we kind of like missed a little bit was when how they got like really here. We did bring up that Martian had a suit, but Martian was the one who came and saved everybody, and then that led to everybody getting saved. That was in that sticky situation, and and it's also interesting. I guess now we can get to the point of why did they go after Martian first? It was simple and it was really, really cool, and I love it because they went after him first because of this right here. The fact that he can use his telepathy to communicate with people. So if they would have went after, especially like you could say, well, let's go after the biggest fish first. Let's go after Superman. Let's go after him first. If they would have went after Superman and then you go after Wonder Woman or you go after whatever, you take out. It doesn't really matter who you go after first, but you start taking the other ones out. Because of Martian's telepathy, he would have figured it out.
Yes.
Quickly figured it out. And then he would have been your biggest problem. He's hands down your biggest problem. Because even in this situation where everybody is babble and you can't understand anything, he's able to use his telepathy to still communicate with the rest of the league, and they can understand each other that way.
And like
that's why he's the most dangerous target.
Right. Almost like it's like an inter-person communication system where they can just set up like their own little thing and just communicate to each other, which is really, really cool to think about. And
that's how they that's actually how they got to the league and found out where each member was, because the league actually does have their own communicators and their own way of communicating with each other. So they use those frequencies to also like know where those guys are. It basically became their tracking system for the league. So that's how they was able to get to them, because no one's supposed to be able to do that, but that's how they got to them. But with Martian, it's at a much more advanced level, because he's able to, like, you're able to communicate with each other. No one else is going to be able to do that because he's using telepathy power. So he's only getting in people he wants to get in.
Right. Which is, oh my gosh, that part was so cool. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, that the way that Raj set it up, I mean, it is a chess match. Like, he was playing it so perfectly with which pieces to remove before he went after the next piece, which traps to set to get to the king, basically. And so now, you know, obviously they're coming back. They're able to get like Superman like just calm enough to focus and destroy the thing that was attached to Wally's spine, so that he stops having his seizures. That's the part where we were talking about, where he was like, I felt like it was days and days and days, and it was just 22 minutes.
And that was the thing. Superman had to like slowly calm and like focus and get himself back and get away, obviously, from the red kryptonite, and slowly get himself to normal. But to me, the craziest revelation happens when they get to Kal, and Martian figures out, because he's like, can you help me? And he figures out, he's like, yeah, there's nothing I can do, because what's actually happened, they got to you way before stuff actually probably popped off. You can make an argument he might have been the first person they really got to. And when they got to you, what they basically did was put it in your mind to make the ring, put all your focus and have the ring make you blind. So the only person who can stop that is you. Your willpower is the only thing that can get your sight back. Which I was like, whoa.
Yeah. No, that reveal.
I didn't know the ring can do that. You can use the ring to make yourself blind. I didn't know you can actually do that at that point.
Right. Yeah, no, I was like, well, that part was crazy, because they were like, basically, because he even said you don't go to sleep with your ring on, but you woke up with your ring on, and that's kind of how they like traced it. So he's afraid of using like his dreams to have the ring activate and create anything, especially if he was having like a nightmare or something like that.
Right, which would happen in theory, yeah. So that part makes tons of sense.
So instead, when he was asleep, apparently, whatever, hypnosis, which I don't actually believe in, but for the sake of the story, hypnosis tactics to make him think that he was blind, and then put the ring on him while he was sleeping, and then the ring carried out the fact that he thought he was blind from the hypnosis. So that was a pretty crazy mind fuck. And they removed the ring from him, and they're basically like, just tell yourself that you can see. Just tell yourself that you can see, and you'll be able to see. And sure enough, you know,
slowly but surely,
got a couple minutes later, he was able to see. Superman is kind of using, obviously they're in space at this point, but Superman is using his super sight and hearing to see just the craziness that's going on Earth right now. And dare I say that he sheds a tear?
I swear to God, James. You know what, bro? Wait till the screen's over. I'm coming right there. Talia, disrespect.
I knew.
I know what you're doing.
I knew for a fact that I wouldn't be able to read through this story without some crying Superman, because that's just how it is, yo. That's just how it is. So there ain't no story that Superman don't cry in. And so there we go. The appearance of the crying Superman. I knew it was going to happen eventually. So, all right, now I'm just fucking with you. So, yeah, Superman sheds a tear. He sees everything that's going on. We go back to Raj and Talia kind of going over, you know, what their plans on. And at this point, I think this is pretty important, too, because Talia starts to break away from the path of the almighty Raj Al Ghul.
And what puts her at that tipping point is she's told by Ghoul Squad member 78 that member 74's plan was successful and Batman is dead.
Batman's dead.
But actually, in the find out, Ghoul Squad member 78, it's not actually 78. That guy actually got taken out by the disguised Batman. So that was Batman who put that in there. And the reason why he did that is because.
Well, yes.
What
happened? So that he is able to hear, because in their costumes is the blocker or whatever, so that they can communicate. But
no, but the main reason he did that is to get Talia, because he knows Talia and he knows that she doesn't completely agree with Raja's plans. She never really fully agreed with it. Right. It's his mindset. She's always had her own thing. The thing is, though, she always goes back to Daddy. Like, she's Daddy's girl. She's always goes back to Daddy, right? Mm-hmm. So this was his way of kind of tipping the scale in his favor. And Batman knows that by getting her this information and getting her so angry, because she was angry, thinking that Batman was dead, that she would probably turn.
Gotcha. Another smart move by the detective Bruce.
Yep.
So here's the part about this whole scene that made me just like laugh and laugh and laugh. All right, so Batman is disguised as a Ghoul Squad member, and they got like these blue, number 78. They got this blue like wrap around his head, and his head is circular, and like it just looks like a regular old member of the Ghoul Squad. Then he removes that, and underneath is the actual Batman cowl with the ears. But there's like, where did the ears even come from? Because like it's smooth, and then as soon as he starts removing it, like the bat ears are just like straight up, and I'm like, these are not flexible bending ears.
Because in most stories, they're actually really sharp. They're not something that bends.
I was fucking dying, dude. That shit like had me cracking up so much. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I said the same thing years ago when I saw this story. I was like, something's not right here. They're not. They should have, in theory, probably do the damn thing, because like they're really sharp. But no, I thought he just
I've ever seen. Shit cracked me up. But anyways, so somehow he's I guess we'll just explain that to Batman logic. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. You know, logic.
Wayne Enterprises nanotech is the one that's hiding. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, I was laughing my ass off.
It was funny.
God almighty.
It was funny.
So we're back
so it's the one of the big things why Superman was really sad too is because him knowing that Bruce is the one who did this, and all of the league.
Oh yeah.
Now they're in a situation where they don't really they're wondering if they can trust him. It hurts him even more because honestly, out of all the members of the league, Batman's cool with him, yes, but Batman's best friend is Bruce. I'm sorry, Batman's best friend is Bruce. Batman's best friend is Clark. And league wise, like Superman and Batman are very, very close. So Superman is like, not only did you lie to me and lie to us, you lied to me, and you're the reason why all of this is happening.
Yeah, they do piece that together. Even though Bruce was trying to be like, "Hey, look, it was my fault. And he's just trying to push past it. Like even when he's trying to warn them, he's just like, "Hey, look, it was me, but here's how we fix it." And he just isn't able to comprehend. Partly because he's sociopathic, but mostly because he's just not able to comprehend that all the other members of the league now feel extremely betrayed that Batman had these files of not only what their strengths and weaknesses were, right, but also how to either manipulate or take them out. It
was a contingency plan.
Yeah, his contingency plan of if they were to turn, if they go bad, if basically. But again, because even at some point, Martian Manhunter comes out and says, "Hey, look, I had something similar. I just didn't have an offensive plan. I had a defensive plan." While Batman's sitting here like, "This is how I kill all these motherfuckers." So basically, Ra's al Ghul, he didn't have to do much thinking once he got that information. It was just a matter of who do we take out first and what order kind of thing, because Batman basically laid the plans out of like, this is how you fucking kill all of us. Is basically what it is.
Yeah.
So
now
of course
we're basically
they feel betrayed.
They do
at
feel
this
betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
They do. So now we're basically going. We're basically getting to the end now, and it basically comes to now. Batman is like talking to them, and the League don't really trust him. They're hesitant. They're listening to him, and they're very hesitant. And I love how the first thing Superman does just goes straight to Bruce, and he's just like, "What the fuck."
Superman feeling of betrayal is almost enough to bring a tear to the eye.
I swear to God, bro, I will find where you live. Like, y'all need to stop disrespecting Superman, bro. Y'all are playing, y'all.
That panel, though, where Superman is just like, "What's up, motherfucker?" Like, Batman's flying in the Batplane.
Yeah.
And he's up above and everything. And then it's just like, boom, there's Superman.
Yep.
And he's pissed, bro.
Yes.
He's like, arms crossed, looking at him, not moving, just kind of like suspended there in the air. Again, with the sun at his back, which I thought was really well, like,
just
how
a
they
did that. Scene.
Great painting. Like, that panel could be framed. 100%. I thought that was really dope. So that, I mean, it was just a really powerful, like, no words were even needed.
Yes.
There was no dialogue or anything like that. It was just very powerful how, like, Superman's like, "What's up, bro? Like, what the fuck just happened?" And so I thought that was really cool how they depicted that without like any words.
And I personally feel that anytime Superman and Batman have like these deep conversations with each other, it's the best from any conversations that happen in all of DC, in my opinion. Because that's some of the best stuff of Injustice in the comics and even the video games where it came from, is when Superman and Batman are talking like and discussing their reasons for why they're doing what they're doing. It is some of the best stuff. I never get tired of it. It is just, I look forward to when they're having those kind of deep conversations with each other. It's freaking great.
Yes. No, and you're right. It's very powerful. It's usually like, because I mean, they are pretty much the DC universe. So when they're having these deep conversations, I mean, it's something to take note of. Yeah. So they trace the signal back to this tower, the Tower of Babel, if you will. And Superman's like, "I'm just gonna fucking just destroy this shit."
He tells them straight up, "Everybody leave."
Yeah. He's like, "I've had enough.
Deuces."
I don't give a fuck. Take out the Ghoul Squad. We are exploding this fucking tower. And that's it." And he's like, he just walks off in his badass panels that he's just like, he's on fire. And he's just like, fuck it. Like, he comes out of the burning building and he's just like,
Superman is always the best. Because when Superman, because the argument they always use anytime Superman loses, well, he's holding back because he doesn't want to kill blah blah. He's always holding back. That's like their plan of like, well, Superman may have lost this, but he was holding back. So, give me something. But when Superman is not, he's just pissed off. It's always the best, dude. I love that Superman. We're just like, no. I'm gonna destroy some shit now.
Yeah, he's like, I've had enough with all of this. I've got to talk to Bruce, and this shit. He's like, and I got to pick up my kids in an hour. Fuck this shit.
So they basically split up. After all that, they basically split up, and Wonder Woman and like I can't remember who went Wonder Woman, but they went and like just took out
all together at this point.
Yeah, the rest they did their little thing, and then it was Bruce and Batman who flew out together. Batman being carried by Bruce, which is always funny. Batman being carried by Superman. Damn, I think I said Batman being carried by Bruce.
I was like, damn, Batman's being carried by Bruce now. All right.
It's amazing, bro. So, Batman's Batman being carried by Superman. And then that's when they really had their talk and Batman explained why he did and have the contingency plan and why he was doing that because of what, he feared or whatever could actually happen.
Yes.
So to basically wrap it all up, they get there. They're, dealing with the Batman explains Superman though, why he wasn't really helping them out, what really went down to kind of ease Superman a little bit. And then Superman's like, oh, Superman has a face too. When he tells him about that, he took his mom and his dead parents. And Superman makes
yeah. No, yeah. Oh, yeah. See that face? I swear I need to figure out who did all like the drawing, but like that they've used that face quite a few times throughout the series. It just cracks me up. The Batman ones were the funniest, but Superman definitely had a couple where he's like,
blah, like some Hank Hill shit.
The parents.
Yeah, exactly. So Superman was gonna run up in there and just get the caskets, but nah, fam, that stuff is connected with some red kryptonite. So Superman's like, I gotta back on up, Bruce. I'm sorry, bro. I can't do it.
Okay, so yeah, Raj is basically like, look, Superman has a weakness. He cares for the animals just as much as me, basically. And while they're taking out Ghoul Squad member 85, because Ghoul Squad member 85 shot Talia, which, by the way, that happened. So Talia was actually in the process of possibly betraying Ra's al Ghul, of kind of like saying like what was going down. And then this dude was like, nah, son, and shoots her. And then Raj is like thinking for some reason, like this, just as much of an idiot as the person who fed the tiger chocolate at the beginning of the story. This motherfucker thinks that he'll be rewarded for shooting the daughter of the person in charge. Like, I don't know what goes through these people's minds, but this dude's like, nah, son, you're real stupid, bro. He's basically linking it together and saying you're going to be fed to the tigers. That there's only like 12 of these left, and I have 2. So you're getting fed to these tigers. So it's kind of like a full circle thing. So basically then Superman comes in hot and heavy, but he has to rescue that dude. And he's like, I'm going to get the parents, like you said, the coffins. But no, there's a big old chunk of red kryptonite there. So now basically we find part 2 of Raj's plan, that he's trying to release now a biological weapon, a virus, because and cause mass warfare through a virus, basically.
Yes, because Talia was saying that, he's trying to by releasing, like, the initial thing is to release this panic, make the panic, everybody freak out to the point where basically people start doing stupid stuff. We basically have like a nuclear war. So basically everybody start sending their nukes out. Everybody's messing things up. And right when humanity is really at their weakest, we're sending out an even virus to wipe out everybody else who he needs with written out or whatever.
Yes. And so we see Green Lantern and Plastic Man and Wonder Woman trying to stop, like a part of it actually did escape. Green Lantern contains it, thankfully. Flash is like in there trying not to catch this virus that has killed Ghoul Squad number 105. And so,
man, he was, oh man, I remember just like yesterday, man. He loved ham sandwiches.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Pour one out for the homie 105.
Pour one out, bro. I gotta pour one out, bro.
So and then Green Lantern's like, look, I got this. They end up like, what do? They take the Earth, or that part of the Earth, and throw it into the sun. Dude, that shit is hilarious. They just like scooped a boulder of Earth and just threw it into the sun like it was nothing. It was like, all right, yeet it into the sun. And then Plastic Man and Wonder Woman have to go find the other canister, which they were about to release. And then Wonder Woman does her old magical lasso, like, do you really want to die? And he's like, yes. And he's like, do you really want to die? And he's like, no. I'm like, all right, well, that was interesting.
Right? Yeah, like random people that Wonder Woman had to save too. It was like, all right, they're there.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yep. It was just amusing that Wonder Woman was like, do you want to die? And he's like, no. Do you want to die? Yes.
It's like some Austin Power stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, that was that. But yeah, so now we're back. I just saw the Superman face again. Yeah, so back with Superman and Batman trying to stop Ra's al Ghul, talk some sense into him, or beat some sense into him, whichever. Yeah, basically they've had enough of his shit. And they're like, all right, this is done. Martian Manhunter shows up. He's like, I'm all done with this too. And so somehow Raj still escapes though. There's 3 of like the most powerful people in DC Comics. Yeah. And Raj still slips through the cracks somehow.
Yep.
I was just like, they don't even explain it. He's just gone.
He's just
like, nobody sees where he went. They don't show him that.
Bro, he's
nothing.
been watching Batman do it for so long. He was like, I'm a ninja. I could do that
a
too.
panel, this dude is just ghosted the whole, like, it's like some fat bitch on Tinder. He's just gone out of there, dude. Like, he's just like, oh no, I don't think so, son. And he's just gone. I was like, all right, yeah. I was like, all right, dude, that's cool. So Batman proceeds to beat up every other Ghoul Squad member that's there. He's like, I'm so angry. Let me beat up everybody else.
I mean, Raja had to get there so he could pull one out for 105 and also prepare the funerals, bro. That's a big depth, bro. A good man. A good man, Stanley, bro.
So instead of like chasing after Ra's al Ghul, who couldn't have gone that far, it's not like he's teleporting somewhere.
Like he's gonna run away from Superman. Yeah. Let's be
honest. Like or the Flash. Like
no, I'm just saying, like Superman who can literally look through things and see where this dude is going, and then like he's not gonna outrun Superman. Like,
but apparently he's got, and instead of looking for them, like, well, let's just go back to the headquarters.
Let's go to leave. We got more important things to talk about, like Batman's trial. Apparently, like, okay,
yeah, they put Batman on trial, so they sit him down at the conference room table, and they all go upstairs, and they're like, let's talk about it. Let's see who, if we think he should stay or if he should go. And it's a split decision.
Of course, Wonder Woman's like, get his ass out of there. I love Diana.
Dude, Wonder Woman instantly.
She's a savage, bro.
Yeah. It was like, there was not even like a debate. She didn't like talk out arguments or anything. She was just like, gone. Expulsion.
Get his ass out.
Yeah. Deuces. Elimination. Yeah, and then like everyone else is just kind of like everyone else takes a little more time as far as debating. If I remember correctly, Wally West votes to keep him. Mm-hmm. Martian Manhunter votes to keep him
because that's when Martian brings up his stuff.
Yeah, that he also
and even Superman got like hold him a little bit because he's getting so animated and angry.
Oh yeah, he was getting angry about it for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I can't remember what did Aquaman vote. I can't remember. Did he say to keep him?
I feel like Aquaman said leave.
Yeah, Aquaman said to boot him. Who was the third? Oh, Plastic Man voted to keep him, right? Or no?
I can't remember what Plastic Man. I can't remember what he said.
Shit, Plastic.
In terms of leave or stay.
Oh, Plastic Man said get him the fuck out of here.
Okay.
He didn't even. Yeah, he didn't debate too much on it either. He said get him.
To be fair, he did get turned into ice and broken apart. So that probably sucked.
And so basically, it's basically 3-3. And it comes down to Superman. Of course it does. And they're like, Superman, you are the swing vote. You've known him the longest. You're probably the closest thing to a friend.
Ain't no probably. He's the closest person to him.
Yeah, and they're like, well, he's probably gonna know how you vote. And Batman knew exactly how everyone would vote. Of course he did. Because he's Batman. Golly. Here we go. Thank you, JBK's dad. Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Plastic Man voted him out.
Okay, I remember Aquaman and one of those.
And then technically, Superman voted him out too. In my mind, I know they don't say it. Like I know that's kind of one of those things that's left up to debate.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
In my opinion,
I'm not right. I'm pretty sure this goes into Queen of Fable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it goes into Queens of Fable, and that's when you really find out, obviously, what whether he stays or not. But we know.
Yes. But in my opinion, Superman is saying vote him out, and that's kind of why Batman leaves. Yes,
Batman was gone, bro.
Batman was like as fast as Ra's al Ghul disappeared because he was trained, of course. But
they're ninjas.
The League of Shadows. So the League of Ghouls. So Batman, like between the time, well, I don't even know why they need to take an elevator. Half of them can fly, but they all get in the elevator to go down to Batman, and he's gone.
Dude, I'm not again. If I'm Superman, the whole time I'm staring at him with my eyes to see what he's doing. So if he leaves, I'm knowing that he's leaving.
And again, they're like, let's not look for him. He couldn't have gotten far. We're in fucking outer space. They're just like, oh shit, he's gone. All right, well that ends that discussion, and that's how we end. So, but it was, oh my gosh, it was such a good story. It was so
great.
So great.
Great.
Oh man, just like from start to finish, both times that I read through it, you are correct. The next storyline up was Queen of Fables.
Okay.
And so, yeah, no, it is like just fantastic. And just from, I mean, because it really leaves a lot of stuff up and open, like a lot of debates, interpretation of what's
It
going on,
does.
just the kind of psychology of and the inner workings of these heroes and kind of how they would respond to these events, and just Batman's contingency plan to take out everybody, and it works in the hands of a villain. I mean, that's just oof.
That's badass.
Did you guys read the lost pages of the story from the trade paperback? No, I did not. I actually read just the regular ones. So please feel free to enlighten us, JBK's dad, if there's something that we are missing here, because that I would love to know. But yeah, so that story took us the entire time today. But I'm sure we'll find another story to talk about for next time. And I know that there will be other stuff for us to talk about too, because Hawkeye comes out tomorrow. And that's what Chris has been really looking forward to watching. So I know he's going to be wanting to talk about Hawkeye next week on Tuesday. So yeah.
Yeah, just like when Ironheart comes out. I can't fucking wait for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, Ironheart is Black Panther 2, I think, but she's also supposed to be showing up before that. I don't remember when she's supposed to show up, but she is supposed to show up before that, and maybe in the She-Hulk show. I can't remember.
Yeah, cool. Something else I'm extremely excited for, and I'm very sure I'm going to watch that too.
As you should.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for chilling with us, hanging with us, talking about the Tower of Babel. We will be back next Tuesday, same time at 8 p.m. Eastern. And as always, we
real quick, just to get some hopes up. Me and James are working on some stuff, man, and we even been talking about some ideas. Gonna be some good stuff coming to this channel, man. Great stuff coming to this channel.
100%. We are working on more stuff. I'm doing more breakdowns of individual issues, as well as like the convention scene type stuff. And then Chris is bringing us some more of the anime and video game side of
that's
the
coming.
pop culture stuff.
Hell yeah.
Which I'm excited about. So all that is really dope. We will see you guys every Tuesday right here, 8 p.m. Hit that like button if you're still with us. Watch the replay. Smash it. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you. Stay villainous and
fuck the Fantastic Four.